Hello, my name's Lesley Atherton, and this short story is called So-Called Friend Revenge. I'm not eating that. The statement was virtually hurled at Sabrina, who remained silent. What is it, anyway? Came Carolyn's voice, this time with accompanying glottal growl. Sabrina looked down at the serving dish between them on the table. It's lasagne. It was pretty obvious. That is lasagne? Sneeringly now. It is, Sabrina said, as politely as she could manage. Lamb and spinach lasagne. It's a Nigella Lawson recipe. Good call, thought Sabrina as she said it. Everybody liked Nigella, she being a posh and voluptuous woman with oodles of cash and sex appeal. Sabrina, on the other hand, was none of those things. She was stunning in a sporty and innocent way, and as a 6-foot-tall woman, slender and with a heart-shaped face, there was little voluptuousness in her physicality. But her sweet, stretched-out look belied the strength in her. Tonight she was strong for a reason. Her best friend, Violet, had been the victim of Carolyn, her bullying partner, who began by bombarding her with love and kisses and sweetness, then gradually descended into a relationship of control, constant put-downs, and of many, many tears. Carolyn had been removed only when police became involved, and a restraining order served on her. Violet was damaged. God, how she was damaged, and vowed not to get involved with anyone else till she was fully recovered from the aftermath. The recovery had all the symptoms of PTSD, and Sabrina had helped Violet through it, supporting her all the way. She'd learnt a lot too, and it hadn't taken long before she was able to put her newfound skills to good use. Sabrina looked across the table at her new aggressor, Carolyn. She had sought Carolyn out, without Violet's knowledge, as a challenge, and to give her a taste of her own medicine. She ingratiated herself with Carolyn, told her she wanted to be friends, and set herself up as a victim in the making, though she had no intentions whatsoever of fulfilling that role. Because, unlike Violet before her, Sabrina now understood Carolyn and what made her tick. Carolyn would treat her like a goddess for a few months, then the behaviour would suddenly shift towards put-downs and controlling mechanisms that were usually enough to make her victims compliant. Not Sabrina. Lasagne should be beef, Carolyn stated. I'm not eating this shit. That's fine, said Sabrina. You need to lose a stone or so anyway. She said it with a smile of ambiguity. After a few weeks of pretending to be taken in, she was now enjoying playing Carolyn at her own game. There's nothing else, said Sabrina, so you have to go hungry. But I want something else. Buy it and make it yourself then. But you're leaving me hungry. Oh, it won't kill you. Anyway, I have more important things to think about than your fussy taste buds and desperate hunger receptors. You have arms and legs and money and a car. There are supermarkets and takeaways. Carolyn's shoulders twitched. It was obvious she was trying to control her rage, all the better to control her new friend. But Sabrina was not to be controlled. She was a fine actress, seductively sweet and hard as nails. And right at that moment, just as Carolyn was trying out her most powerful glare of intimidation, Sabrina was struggling not to laugh. To her it was all a game, the greatest of acts. She was the main player ad-libbing to devoted fans, while her supporting cast member, in this case Carolyn, was left bewildered and cueless. It was an unusual state of affairs for someone who prided herself on her ability to control. Sabrina served herself some of the lasagne. It really did look good, tasty and succulent. She said, taking a bite. This is gorgeous. You are really missing out. Carolyn huffed. She may have been mistress of control and domination techniques, but she was slow to adapt. Sabrina knew it would take her a while to work out how to deal with this newfound cockiness. Guessing, anger and aggression would be the only tools at Carolyn's disposal. Sabrina was right. Completing her meal while Carolyn watched, long-faced and sulky, Sabrina sighed and got up from her seat. The best meal I've had in ages, she said, as she picked up her plate. In a sudden gesture that Sabrina was almost unprepared for, Carolyn reached across the table and pushed the plate out of her hands. If in doubt, smash something was clearly one of Carolyn's maxims, and the plate fell onto the tiled floor, shattering loudly. Sabrina shrugged. I never liked those plates anyway. Here, let me break yours. And in saying that, she grabbed Carolyn's empty plate and threw it to the floor with a crash louder than the first. Why did you do that? Same reason you did it, Sabrina thought, but she just tapped her fingers on the table, mock impatiently. "You're insane," said Carolyn. "That was insane." Perhaps Sabrina was insane, but she didn't think so. To her, it was more a case of learning to control the controller, and she had learned from the master.